Hello, everybody. Welcome to Marlicia's Meanderings. I am Marlicia, and I'm glad you're here with me in my BookTube channel. It's been a while, as I keep saying, but I finally got my stuff together and had a little time, and I'm going to do kind of a combination 2025 recap, 2026 goals, because I've kind of passed the time to do my recap, so I'm just going to put them all together. So, I have my glasses here. Get right into it. I didn't do quite as much reading this year as I did last year. I think it's because I didn't participate in the Christie's Missing Along as well as I did last year, and that really made a difference. I also read more books that were long, big books like over 500 pages. I didn't read a lot of them, but enough that it threw me off with the other books. So the number of books I read was 48. I read 48 books, about half of what I read last year. And the number of pages was 10,326. Not too bad. The average time to finish was 1 month. Now, to be fair, what kind of skewed that is, I have devotionals that you do day by day. So I can't read ahead. So if it's a 30-day devotional, I have to take 30 days to finish it. So that would be a month. But if I read it, just sat down and read it, I might be able to read it in half the time. So that kind of skews that a little bit. My pace, according to Storygraph, fast reading about 30% of my books, medium about 45%, and slow 25%. It kind of surprised me, but I guess those are my devotionals and things like that, and the longer books. As for page numbers, I had 4% that were over 500 pages. I think I had 2 books that were over 500 pages. I think the Inklings was this year. I think it was the Inklings, and I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was the Virginian that were longer than 500 pages. And I had most of my, then 300 to 49, let me start over again. 13% of my books were between 300 and 499 pages. The majority of my books were under 300 pages, 83% of them. And those are like my mysteries and cozies, just the fun reads, and some of my devotionals, because like I said, they tend to be, little snippet things because you want to meditate on them, and they tend to be shorter, so the books are shorter. As far as fiction and nonfiction, I was really surprised. I'm usually a fiction reader. I do like nonfiction, but usually I'm really heavily skewed toward fiction because I like mysteries and fantasy so much. This year was a little bit surprising. I had 54% fiction and 46% nonfiction. So almost neck and neck, almost. For a while there, I was going neck and neck, almost exactly half. But the fiction did pull ahead toward the end. My most read authors, Agatha Christie, which probably comes as no surprise to people who've been watching my channel. I had 6 books by Agatha Christie. I had 5 books by Dorothy L Sayers. Christine Watkins, I had 3 books of hers, and Scott Hahn, 3 books of his. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, also 3 books. I don't know who Anne Thwaite is, but apparently I've read 2 of her books, so I have to go back and see what those books are because I don't remember. I guess I will have to, maybe she's a new mystery writer or something. I'll have to go, I think that might be it. I think she might be a new mystery writer. I'll have to go look. My favorite book, I'm sure everybody knows who my favorite book is. My favorite book was The Virginian this year by Owen Wister. I did not read this copy. I didn't have it. I had it on Kindle, but I did buy it because I liked it so much. And this is an amazing book. I will definitely read it again, maybe in the hard copy. It's got really nice, I showed this when I picked it up, but I just want to show you this one picture since I saw it when I was flipping through here. Look at this. It's a full 2-page illustration. I mean, it's just a beautiful book. So this was my favorite book of the entire year. This one, closely followed by Ivanhoe by Sir Walter Scott. And if you want to know my feelings about Sir Walter Scott's other books, there's another video talking about Waverley. So my opinion about Sir Walter Scott is kind of in limbo until we do Rob Roy. So but the Virginian was fabulous. I did like Sir Walter Scott's Ivanhoe. Those were my two favorite books for the year. My least favorite book was one I started early in January of last year, and that was Elizabeth's German Garden by Elizabeth von Arnim. Just could not get into the book. I didn't like the character. I just didn't like it, and I have a video about that as well. It's early in the year of 2025, I believe. So that one was one I just did not like. And Maltese Falcon. Okay, now let me explain about Maltese Falcon. I love the story. I love the movie. I didn't like the book because of God's name in vain. It didn't need to be done, and it was in the main character, so it was showing up a lot, and it ruined the book. I did not get past the first chapter. Which is a shame because I love the movie and I love noir material, and it was just a shame, but I had to put that in my least favorite book. That was a DNF. Okay, I did finish Elizabeth's German Garden, but I did not finish the Maltese Falcon. Instead, I read what was it? It was a Sam the Cat book, and I can't remember the name. Maltese something or other. It's on my shelf, and I don't want to get up because then you'll be looking at my messy couch. So, it's in my videos. I do have some information I want to share with you about my purchases on Thrift Books. Because usually I get my stuff either from Amazon or Thrift Books. If I don't get it from Amazon or Thrift Books or one of my religious suppliers, my daughter picks it up for me from eBay because I don't like to use eBay. eBay kind of scares me. I don't know. I just don't like eBay. But my 2025 book print, so I guess my print books that I bought, my reading rewards is literati on Thrift Books. There are levels on Thrift Books, and when you hit a certain level, you get certain points toward free books, up to $5, up to $7, etc. I picked up 37 books from Thrift Books this year, and I had 9 free books redeemed, so that's not pretty good, right? My favorite genre, according to Thrift Books, is religion and spirituality, and they said my favorite author is Linda Stewart. I beg to differ. I don't even know what she wrote. I'm assuming that was the last one I picked up, perhaps the one I picked up for A.A. Milne. I don't really know what she wrote. I have to go back and look at that. I just kind of thought it was funny that came up as my favorite author from Thrift Books because it really isn't accurate. I would say Owen Wister or Scott Hahn or somebody, Agatha Christie. I don't even know who this person is, but that's where that is. So that's my recap. I had a good year. Not as good as I would have liked to, but it was stressing me out toward the end because I was feeling like I'm not making any. I don't make goals, but then I see everybody else's goals. And I have to do this. I have to do like everybody else. I have to make, I have to reach this goal or that goal, and it's just that this doesn't work for me, and I don't enjoy my reading. I don't remember what I read when I do that. So this is going to be reflected in my BookTube goals for 2026, which is where I'm going into now. The 2026 BookTube goals. My first goal is to limit what I purchase. I have books, guys, sitting on tables, okay, that I don't have space for. I am going to limit what I purchase. I will purchase if I really see something that's fabulous, or I need it because I don't have it, we're doing a challenge, or I need it for my religion studies or whatever. I will pick that up, but I want to severely limit what I am picking up because I have a bunch of books to read and I don't need to buy more unless it's a specific need. I also think I'm going to go through my shelves and see what I can get rid of. I have done this many times, so I don't know how much I will be able to clear out, but I want to do that. Some of it can go to our brand new church library. Maybe I will have a giveaway if it's a good enough book, and I think somebody will want it. That might happen. We'll see. I want to read from what I have, read more of what I have, which is a natural flow in from limiting what I purchase. Like I said, I have shelves and shelves of books. I should be able to find something to read. And and I have no problem with rereading either. So that should be an easy thing to do. The difficulty is to resist the temptation to get something new and shiny and better, in quotes, okay? Um, the third one that I'm going to do for my goals here for 2026 is to only take part in the things I really want to participate in, to the extent I want to participate in them. Okay, I'm not going to stress myself out. My goals will be to read, but not a specific number of pages, not a specific number of books. I'm not going to bind myself to being in all kinds of reading events. There are some that I hope to continue to take part in over many years, and those that I'm going to do that with are the my own Exploring the Public Domain. I think I'm going to keep on with that. If I continue to booktube indefinitely, I will continue to do the Exploring the Public Domain, and I will do that. June on the Range, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and it got me interested in a new genre for me, so yes, I will continue with that. Cozy with the Detection Club, that's Talia's, Talia Nerds Out. June on the Range is Kevin from Kevin Toll Reads, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people in that. I think Ghost Readers in the Sky and a few other people. I don't know who they are for the June on the Range. Cozy with the Detection Club is Talia and myself. I want to do a little more with that. I don't know why I was unable to do that this year. I had a lot going on. I just couldn't focus. So I didn't. This year we also have the Ivanhoe group is getting together again in May to read Rob Roy as a group read. I really want to do this because Ivanhoe was fabulous and I loved it, and I hated Waverly. So I want to see how Rob Roy falls. And that is going to be interesting, I think. And I think it will be fun to discuss with Ghost Readers in the Sky and Deb's, I think it's Raina Reed's book. I'm sorry, Debs, I can never remember your channel. I'm going to have to do something about that. But she's doing that, and there are several other people, Talia's in that, and that will be fun. And I will be doing that. Other alongs and other reading events that I will take part in will be as the mood strikes and as time allows. I will probably try to get at least something in for Ariane from Book Zealots. Manifest Destiny, I'd like to try to do something like that. And Christie's Missing. And whatever else, kind of as the mood strikes. I don't know all the reading events that are going on, and something may strike my fancy, and I may just do one book in it. I have a tendency to say, oh, this is going on, I need to read all the books, and then I get really stressed. I also want to do some dedicated Christmas reading when we hit November, December. So that's something that I'd like to do as well. But I want to be very low-key about it. I want to be very low stress, because besides the fact that I was ill at the beginning of the year and I couldn't do that, I just put so much pressure on myself that I didn't want to do any recording. I didn't want to do anything. So I don't want to put that kind of stress. I want to enjoy my reading. I miss doing tags. I'm so happy that I get tagged by so many people, and I'm so behind on it. Please don't stop tagging me. I will try to go back and put them somewhere, because I like doing the tags. Sometimes I might not do them because I can't answer them because they don't really apply to me, but I will do as many as I can, and I truly enjoy the tags, and I want to get back into those because they don't require really much work, and I enjoy sharing that kind of stuff with you and hearing what you guys have to say as well. So yes, I'd like to do more tags. Another thing I'd like to do for BookTube in 2026 is to get my book hauls done. Christmas obviously was in December. My birthday was at the end of January. So I have between 4 and 7 book hauls waiting to be done. So I have to record those and post them. So I need to get book hauls done. And then maybe I'll do hauls from what I have on my shelf as well. I don't know what I have on my shelves. I have to go back and look. because it's gotten to the point now every once in a while I'll order something and I already have it. So I need to go and kind of make an inventory. I don't want to do an inventory, but maybe I'll do that. Maybe Talia and I can sit down and do inventories together. But anyway, um, I want to change my focus. Like I said earlier, I want to read what I want to read, and I want to read it intentionally so I remember. Read it slowly if necessary. You talk about devotionals or things that are difficult to understand. Like I need to go back. There's a book that I started for the theology read along with Faith and Books on John Henry Newman, and I got about, I don't know, just past the introduction and couldn't do it. It was, I felt it was too much pressure, and it wasn't Faith who put it on. It was too dense. And I'd like to do that when I have more time. It might take me a whole year to do that book and just really focus on it. So that might be something I do even over the course of a couple of years. That's just something I want to read slowly. There are other things that I can just maybe pick up and say, oh, I want to read this, put everything aside, read it, and it might take me a day or two, okay? I have Lenten devotional reads. Lent is coming up, less than a week or a little more than a week. Lent is starting for Christians, Catholics especially. I'm not sure how our Protestant brothers and sisters do Lent, but for Catholics, it's a very intentional season. And I have devotionals that I do for Lent and things that I give up and things that I take on. And Ty and I are considering what we're going to do for our Lenten readings. And the books that I'm considering for my devotion part of it, this is Crux, Daily Lenten Meditations, and it's a brand new book. And it struck my fancy when I saw it come up, and I didn't think I'd be able to do it or get it because I thought it was for groups only. And I was hemming and hawing about it, and then it came up and said, oh no, individuals can do this. And it doesn't look like it's very long, so I think I want to do this. I'm not sure, it depends on what Taya decides to do. If Taya decides to do this one, because I was originally going to do this one, which is Carrying the Cross with Padre Pio, Daily Reflections for Lent. I've done several of this woman's books about Padre Pio. If Taya does this one, I'll do this one with her. If she decides to do one of her other options, I will probably do this and do this one next year. The other thing that Taya and I are going to be doing during Lent is a consecration to the Holy Family. It's 33 days to the Holy Family. Holy Family is very important to us, and we've done several of Father Donald Calloway's consecration books, and this is over 33 days, and we'll probably start this, I think it's a few days into Lent, and it goes until a few days after Lent, I believe. So this is something we'll be doing together, definitely. Let's see. Some of the other reads that we'll be continuing for me and Talia, we're going to continue our reading through Austen. We're going to finish Mansfield Park, hopefully in the near future. Mansfield Park, and then start Emma, which I have to say I'm not looking forward to because I tried Emma before and I didn't like it. I loved the movie, but I didn't really care for the book. But Taya's hopeful that with the background I now have from the other Austen books, I might be able to enjoy Emma more. Now, to be fair, I don't dislike Emma. Austen is a fabulous writer. I have really come to enjoy Austen to the point where I want to smack one of the characters in this book because he's blind. Okay, not blind that he physically, but just blind because he can't see. So I do like her writing, and I'm really glad that Taya got me to read this. And so I'm hopeful that will translate into me having a more enjoyable experience reading Emma with her. I think we have Emma and Persuasion and maybe one more to read before we go into the Bronte sisters. I'm not sure how I feel about doing the Bronte sisters because I didn't like Wuthering Heights. I think it's a horrible book. Well, a horrible movie anyway. I don't think it's a love story. I think it's abusive. So I'm not sure I'm going to read that one out of the Bronte sisters, but we'll see. Maybe I will read it and maybe I will be surprised. So I continue to do that stuff with Taya, which is non-stress. It's just whenever we do it once a week, each book. And then other than that, I mean, whatever strikes my fancy. And my main goal is to have fun. Like I said, no number of books, no number of pages, nothing except for what I've mentioned. So I'm looking forward to having a stress-free, enjoyable reading year. I'm hoping to get things a little more organized and be able to podcast more so I can talk to you about these things that I'm doing and meander like I'm meandering now. I will stop meandering. I thank you for joining with me on this Sunday in my meanderings, and I hope to see you the next time I record. God bless and have a wonderful day.